acerca de nuestro programa de doble título y con quien tenemos justamente un convenio para que nuestra comunidad universitaria egresada de la maestría en Administración Estratégica y todas aquellas personas interesadas puedan obtener toda la información el día de hoy, puedan resolver algunas dudas. El día de hoy nos acompaña Cintia García y Victoria Wensinger. Bienvenidas, welcome. Y también nos acompaña nuestra directora de vinculación e internacionalización, la maestra Itzel Vianey Casillas Casillas, en nombre de la Universidad Virtual del Estado de Guanajuato, en representación del maestro Ricardo Narváez Martínez. Les damos la más cordial bienvenida a cada una de las personas que nos acompañan el día de hoy aquí en la transmisión de Zoom y también en la transmisión de nuestras diferentes redes sociales, @UBEC Online y UBEC Oficial, y también, por supuesto, en nuestro campus virtual. En este momento vamos a compartir un breve video para comenzar con esta sesión el día de hoy. Adelante, por favor.
Beautiful.
Hace 18 años nació un sueño, un proyecto visionario que rompió barreras de tiempo y espacio para que miles de personas pudieran estudiar sin importar dónde estuvieran y el tiempo para hacerlo. Con una meta inicial centrada en el estado de Guanajuato y gracias a la solidez de su modelo educativo, UBEC pronto trascendió fronteras, expandiéndose a todo México y alcanzando presencia en más de 109 países. Esta proyección internacional se ha enriquecido con experiencias de movilidad académica en naciones como México, Canadá, Estados Unidos, Colombia, Brasil, España, Reino Unido, Finlandia, Italia, Suecia, Emiratos Árabes Unidos, China, Japón y Singapur, consolidando a la institución como referente global de educación virtual. Durante estos 18 años hemos acompañado trayectorias de vida, transformando retos en oportunidades y sueños en realidades, porque cada estudiante UBEC es parte de una historia de esfuerzo, de crecimiento y de futuro personal, familiar, profesional y laboral. Hoy, al cumplir 18 años, celebramos nuestra evolución, una universidad que no se detiene, que innova, que crece, se expande y que se transforma para estar a la altura de los tiempos, de las nuevas generaciones y de la transformación digital. Con esta madurez llega también una nueva imagen, un logotipo que refleja nuestra visión de futuro, la energía de nuestra comunidad y la confianza construida a lo largo de 18 años, con 72.885 egresadas y egresados y más de 117,000 usuarios. Además, para brindar una atención más cercana y mayor cobertura, hoy contamos con oficinas de UBEC en la Ciudad de México, porque la UBEC se reinventa, pero mantiene intacta su presencia, la de ser una universidad cercana, flexible e innovadora que busca humanizar la virtualidad.
Hoy celebramos con el corazón todo su esfuerzo, su talento y sus sueños. Ustedes han demostrado que la educación rompe barreras, que todo es posible con ganas y con constancia. Lo que han logrado ha sido gracias a su dedicación, al apoyo de sus familias y de sus maestras y maestros. Quiero pedirles que sigan soñando, que no se detengan, que este logro sea solo el inicio de muchos más. Estamos muy orgullosas y orgullosos de ustedes.
Hoy reafirmamos nuestro compromiso contigo y con lo que viene, porque seguimos y seguiremos cada vez más fuertes y cercanos a ti, en línea con tu futuro.
Guanajuato, gobierno de la gente.
Ahora es momento de dar el uso de la voz a nuestra directora de vinculación e internacionalización en la UBEG, a nuestra jefa también, la maestra Itzel Vianey Casillas Casillas. Adelante, por favor.
Gracias, Josué. Bienvenidas todas y todos
a esta sesión informativa con la Universidad Full Sail. La Universidad Full Sail es una de las mejores universidades de Estados Unidos y con quien hemos generado una dinámica muy especial porque hemos generado oportunidades muy importantes a nivel profesional para ustedes. Entre ellas está esta oportunidad de la maestría con doble grado, es decir, una vez que terminen la maestría de Administración Estratégica con nosotros, al tomar 9 materias más directamente con ellos, pueden obtener un segundo título en Master in Business Entertainment. Esta universidad, además de ser presencial, tiene estos programas en línea y también tengo que decirles que sus programas son una materia por mes, así que se adapta completamente al esquema que nosotros hemos tenido y este es un esfuerzo que hemos hecho con la visión de que la educación que tomen pueda tener unos rumbos distintos, que rompan fronteras y que puedan seguir avanzando. El programa con Full Sail University es completamente en inglés, así que es importante decirles que esta sesión será en inglés porque justamente las 9 materias restantes serán también en inglés. Y yo quiero aprovechar este espacio para agradecer especialmente a Cintia García y a Victoria que han compartido con nosotros mucho espacio y hemos generado oportunidades de todo tipo para la universidad y recordarles a ustedes, alumnas y alumnos, que este tipo de oportunidades son justo las que hacen de una universidad internacional y que nos forman para las habilidades a la vida. Así que gracias Josué por la generación de este espacio, gracias Cintia y Victoria por esta visión compartida en la educación internacional. Y bueno, I wish that everybody is expecting to get into this program. Please be free to make your questions, enjoy, and really get enrolled to these kind of programs will help you a lot on your professional path. So very welcome to everyone. Thank you, Josué.
Muchas gracias, maestra Itzel Vianey Casillas Casillas. Bueno, es momento de dar el uso de la voz a nuestras invitadas de honor el día de hoy, Cynthia and Victoria. Welcome. The first part is in Spanish and the second one is in English. So, adelante, Cynthia, por favor.
Hola, buenos días. Bueno, muchas gracias a todos y todas por estar esta mañana. Gracias por el espacio. Josué, Itzel, es un placer siempre estar presente en cualquier evento de la UBEC y bueno, muy contentas Victoria y yo de estar aquí y pues ofrecerles estas oportunidades a sus estudiantes. Voy a comenzar con un video muy rápido de 30 segundos acerca de la universidad. And I'm going to start with a video real quick about the Full Sail University, and then I'm going to pass the voice to Victoria so she can explain everything about our amazing entertainment business master program. And then I will finalize with any questions and admissions process. Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick. So that is a little bit about Full Sail University, but now I'm gonna let Victoria talk a little bit more about our entertainment business master program. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia, and thank you everyone for being here. My name is Victoria Wassinger. Soy Victoria Hernández. Hablo un poquito de español, pero hace mucho tiempo. So I'm going to do this in English, but you are welcome to interrupt me and ask your questions in Spanish. I understand, but I will reply in English to make sure that I reply correctly. So let me just quickly share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see the screen? I don't, I can't see you. So if somebody can just verbally confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, we're
Thank you
good.
so much. Okay, awesome. I appreciate that. So once again, my name is Victoria Wassinger. I'm the program director for the Entertainment Business Master's degree and also the Business Intelligence Master's program at Full Sail. I've been at Full Sail for 15 years. Prior to being an educator, I also have an entertainment law background. So I've been practicing law for almost 20 years now. And I also have a film production background. So I have worked on films like Bad Boys 4 was my most recent one in the accounting department. I always joke that I have the most boring entertainment experience in like law and accounting. It's like the least fun areas you would have in the entertainment space, but they're still a lot of fun. So, okay. And I always ask this, and I'll answer for purposes of time. We ask students, what do you think is the biggest thing that has happened in the industry that has changed how we operate in the industry during the past 5 to 10 years? And 5 years ago, the answer would have been the pandemic, but you probably realize now that the answer today is artificial intelligence. And so with that said, we actually have integrated a lot of artificial intelligence into our program, which I will talk about. Whether it be the ethical concerns that you need to be aware of or how to leverage it, how to continue to present yourself as a valuable human part of the entertainment industry and why humans are still so important. So we've integrated that into all of our classes. The Entertainment Business Master's degree is something that will give students a competitive advantage because it gives you that business literacy. So you leave our program with a new vocabulary surrounded by all about business. And it's not just general business. We focus on the entertainment business. So that way, when you're interviewing or you're working for companies, you're using the right terms and they understand that you are truly in the industry and not just, an everyday business person. And I think that that's really it's one of the things that sets our degree apart from like a general MBA, a Master's of Business Administration. So you'll still, you still get all the foundation that you would in an MBA program, but because we specialize in the entertainment field, you understand it on a different level and you can kind of talk the talk. You'll leave with a new vocabulary. We offer our program both on campus and online, and the program is 12 months long. So every single class is 4 weeks, and you take one class at a time. And by the end of the 12 months, we have a few weeks for breaks, 1 week for summer break, 2 weeks for winter break, and 1 week for spring break. So that accounts for the other weeks. You'll earn your master's degree in half the time that a traditional master's program would take. So most traditional master's programs take at least 24 months, 2 years, if not longer. Many of them are 2.5 years. We have an accelerated program where instead of taking multiple classes at a time, we have you just focus on one subject for 4 weeks, and we immerse you in that subject. And that allows us to get you all of the information so that you can earn the degree faster. A lot of times people ask, what's the difference between a campus program and an online program? And I use an analogy of like joining a gym. So when you say you're, wanting to get into working out and you join a gym, and maybe at first you're just doing it by yourself. So you are walking around, looking at the machines. Maybe you go on your phone to figure out how to use them. Maybe you even get one of those little training apps that shows you, it shows you a video of how to use the machine and tells you how many, weights to lift. But you're kind of self-motivated. You have to decide when you're going to go work out. You have to decide what workout you're going to do for each day. You have a lot more control and autonomy over how you experience that, gym membership. That would be like our online program because you have access to all of the equipment, the curriculum, the videos, the lectures, the reading, but you decide when and where you're going to do it. You decide what you do first. Maybe today you want to do reading and you don't want to do the video. Maybe today you want to do the research part instead of going and doing the reading. So you have a little bit more flexibility, and it's very much you have to be self-motivated because you have to be the one that says, okay, today I'm going to do this. All that being said, we have assignment deadlines. So there's always something due on Wednesday and there's always something due on Sunday of every week. So you're turning stuff in every 3 days, just to be aware. Our lectures for online are also shorter. They're 2 hours long via Zoom, but they are live. And if you can't go, maybe you have a full-time job and you're not able to log in at the time that it's being offered, you are able to watch the recording later on. So we make all the recordings accessible and available as soon as the class is over. So online is really ideal for someone who wants that flexibility and they want to kind of be their own coach. Now, the campus program is more like if you got a personal trainer where they're going to tell you when to show up, they're going to tell you how many reps to do, they're going to tell you what machines they're going to use that day. That's like our campus program because our teachers, you have class scheduled at a specific time, so you have to show up. You have the teacher guiding you through the material, telling you what to read, guiding a conversation during class, having you do in-class activities. And the lectures are a lot longer. So for the campus program, you meet 3 days a week for 4 hours at a time. There is a 40-minute break during that 4 hours, but they're much longer. It's a lot more interaction. The things that are the same between the campus and the online program are the teachers are always the same. So we have industry professionals. Anyone who teaches in this program has to have industry experience in the subject that they're teaching, at least 4 years of working in the industry before they're allowed to teach with us. And I think that really sets us apart from traditional universities. Many traditional universities have like career academics, people who went to school to be a professor. That was their goal, which is wonderful. Our our method at Full Sail is all about real world education. And one of the ways we provide real world education is by having you learn from professionals who have done this in the industry. So, in order to do that, we only hire people who have proven track records in the industry so they can tell you, okay, this is how it really works. The book says this, but I'm going to tell you a little bit different. Okay, so I'm going to highlight just a few of the focus areas that we cover in the entertainment business master's degree. We have classes that are related to law, like the entertainment law class. In that class, you would learn about intellectual property, like copyrights and trademarks. You learn about how to form a business, deciding what type of registration you would want. Many of the things discussed in that class, it's all based on US law, and even a lot of it focuses in Florida. The product and artist management class is taught by a musician who is also an artist manager. So he currently still has an artist management agency. So that class in particular really focuses on the music industry and teaches you all of the different strategies available to have an artist and how to promote your artist, how to get the right audience, how to book the right tour if you're going to be touring, all of those types of things. Then we have digital marketing. We have other marketing classes as well. The digital marketing class takes the marketing to another level. Of course, we live in a very digital world these days. And I think a lot of people see that title and they think the class is just about social media, but it's so much more. Digital marketing is not just Instagram and TikTok. It's when do you reach out to people? How do you capture the audience? And what are the different digital avenues available to speak to the people who are your true customers and who are going to want your product? And then we also have a finance class, which is one of the more traditional classes where you will learn how to do a pro forma. so that you can, if you wanted to launch your own business, you would know how much startup capital you would need. So he walks you through that whole process. I skipped the entertainment distribution class. That class is taught by an award-winning author, but she's a best-selling author and she's also an attorney. And it's really focused on anyone who wants to do independent publishing. So if you are a musician or an author, a game designer, or a filmmaker, she shows you step by step exactly how to take your intellectual property, the art that you have created, and how to get it out there and monetize it so that you can start making money off of your intellectual property. And then finally, we have this business development class, business plan development. Our program, the way that we teach the entertainment world is by having you write your own entertainment business plan. So you have to actually come up with a business concept, and we walk you through how to launch that company. And in every single class, you build little parts of this business plan. And then at the very end of the program, month 11, you write your full business plan by taking all of the assets you've been creating and putting them together. And then the final class, month 12, you pitch your idea to a panel of investors. Our panel is the instructors in the program, and so we, kind of give feedback on, okay, well, this is working, or what about this? Have you thought about that? And so it's kind of like the show Shark Tank, if anyone has seen that. It's very much, we try to poke holes in your idea and ask you questions so that you feel very, very ready after graduation to go and pitch this to investors if you so choose, or even just to go get a small business loan. You would be ready to hit the ground running and start your own business by the end of this program. I also want to mention that we have a sports track available. So out of the 12-month program, you can opt for 3 different classes. So instead of the product and artist management class, we offer a sports management class. Instead of the advanced entertainment law class, we offer a legal issues in sports class. And then instead of the media publishing and distribution class, we offer the sports marketing and sponsorships class. And so there is an option if you prefer to focus in the sports world that you can do that. And we focus a lot on NIL rights, so name, image, and likeness, because that is a major thing that has kind of changed the face of sports, particularly in the United States. Again, most of our classes are really focused on US law. So just be aware of that. In addition to the final project, which I mentioned, so on this slide, I have here capstone project. That's what I was talking about with the business plan. So you would leave our program with a fully written and vetted business plan, as well as a pitch with a slideshow that you could give to investors, or that you could actually apply for a small business loan if you wanted to. On top of that, we also have you create a digital leadership portfolio. The digital leadership portfolio is your own personal website that is to your personal brand. So not your company, but to you. And this is particularly useful for students who are interested in applying for a job at an existing company. Not everybody who goes through our program wants to open up their own business, or maybe they do, but they're not ready to do it right when they graduate. They want to work for somebody who already has a business and then later open up their own business. And so the digital leadership portfolio is like your personal website that sells you, essentially. And so it's part of your job application package. It talks about you. It has sample assignments and sample work that you're capable of doing. And it has other assets that you can show why somebody would want to hire you, whether that be as a client or as an employee. I mentioned earlier that our program only is taught by experienced faculty. So I'm going to highlight just 3 people now who teach different classes in our program to give you an idea of the types of backgrounds that we offer. Bill Thompson, who teaches the final class, the Shark Tank class of our program, has 35 years of financial industry experience. He was actually a Wall Street stockbroker many moons ago. He designs corporate training for Fortune 500 companies that are still used today. He even worked on the financing for Forrest Gump and other major Academy Award winning films in the 90s. And as if all that wasn't enough, he is a voting member of the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, which is the organization that puts on the Grammys. So he gets to vote for the Grammys, and he's a musician, and he's still a working musician. So he continues to perform here in Central Florida. And in addition to that, he has a financial podcast. So he's still very much in the industry, and he's the one who teaches our final project class. Dr. Kim Kraft teaches the media publishing and distribution class, and she's the best-selling author I mentioned, who's also an attorney. So examples of how she brings her industry knowledge into the classroom. She was recently negotiating with a major studio because she wrote a book that's being optioned as a film, and she would show her contracts. She actually was kind enough to kind of share, like, hey, here's my negotiation. This is the contract that they sent me. Here's what I'm going to come back with. And she uses that as a way to teach the students, how do you negotiate? What should you be looking for in a contract to protect yourself? And what are the things that you can ask for? And, what's the going rate for certain things? She's also won Educator of the Year. So she's just a fantastic instructor and just a wonderful person. And her class has been fully revamped for AI. She even wrote a book with AI, with a chat bot that goes with it, and it's just very impressive. So she's got a lot of AI in her class. And then for the sports side, we have another attorney he used to be an NFL agent. He worked for Coca-Cola. He worked for NASCAR. He worked for the the LPGA, which is, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. It's the golf. It's for ladies golf. Pardon me. But he has just decades and decades of experience in the sports world, and has worked for these major companies. So he's able to share quite a bit of insight into, okay, what are the legal issues that come up when you're dealing with Fortune 500 companies like the ones he worked for. All right, so a successful student, somebody who does really well in our program, it would be a student that knows how to manage their time. It is a fast-moving program, and like I said, we have assignments due every 3 days, every 3 to 4 days, so Wednesdays and then on Sundays. So it's very important, if you're interested in the program, that you're somebody who will be proactive. You'll log into the platform every day, look at what needs to be done, and budget your time so that you can manage that, balance that between your work and personal obligations as well as school. The students who do the best, of course, they don't miss any deadlines. They turn their work in on time, because if you turn it in late, you can only turn it in up to a certain number of days late. And when you do, you lose points. So, it's always best to turn everything in on time. And then the ones who really do a great job are the ones who take advantage of the networking opportunities that Full Sail has to offer. So I mentioned that our instructors are all industry professionals, so you can network with your instructors. But then we offer guest speakers all of the time that come to campus, are available via Zoom, from the industry. And so there's ways to network with them. You can connect with them via career development. You can talk with them in the chat if you're there via Zoom. If you're on campus, you can meet them in person. And then it's very important to note that the people who come to Full Sail, the type of students who sign up for this graduate program, often are in the industry and they are looking to figure out a way to maybe get a promotion or to move into a different role. And so there's wonderful networking to be done with the students themselves. And remember, all the students who are in the program eventually then go into the industry. So then you have this excellent network of peers that you can call upon when you're in the industry, and they know what it takes to be a Full Sail student. So our students tend to hire each other and call on each other and work and collaborate with one another because of that. So I mentioned networking. Networking is something we really, really focus on here because in the entertainment space, it is one of the most important skills that you can have. So we teach you how to network with your classmates. We have speed networking once a month where you can go and practice meeting people that you don't know for 6-minute increments, and then we switch you to somebody else. But to really get used to talking about yourself and asking questions of somebody for professional uh, relationship building purposes. I already mentioned networking with the faculty. You can also there's informational interviews that you can do with the experts that we bring to campus. And then our entire career development department is also made up of industry professionals. And so you can, as you're meeting with them to talk about, what kinds of jobs you could get after graduation, they are also industry people that you can build a network with as well. And then I mentioned already, we have campus events. We also have clubs. There's a wonderful club called 3300 in Climbing that actually, it's an artist development initiative. They take on an artist, a musician, every 6 months. They sign a contract with them. They can be located anywhere in the world, and they work with that artist to get them record label ready. So it's usually somebody who needs a little help, is almost there, and is looking to try to get recognized. And they'll do things like shoot music videos for them. They'll put, they record a monthly television, it's a web series called The Turntable where they do interviews. They'll do a brand audit where they look at the person's social media channels and kind of say, like, is this the image that you really want to be showing your fans? Are you capturing the right audience? Who should you be trying to reach? So it's a really great club, and it's a great example of how we incorporate real world experiences into our curriculum as well as the community here at Full Sail. The way that we build our curriculum, aside from having experts who teach the classes and write the curriculum, we also have a panel of industry experts who come to the campus once a year and assess our curriculum, and we ask them for their input. So we say, what should we be teaching? What's old? What's the latest thing that we need to be adding? We also, our career development department meets with employers all year round, every single day, and asks them these questions to find out, okay, what kind of person are you looking to hire? And then they give us the information so that we know how to update our programs as well. So it's very up to date, and it's a constantly updating process. Some examples of careers that you might be able to consider after you graduate from our program are listed on this slide here. So these are just some of the examples of our most recent graduates. We asked them, okay, what are you doing now? And so some of them are in management and promotions, usually for music. Some of them have gone into marketing, so e-commerce and digital marketing. Some of them have moved into the publishing world, and they work for companies like BMI or even a music publisher or a book publisher. A lot of them will do event planning, or they work in major events, whether they are corporate or entertainment, like festivals, things like that. We have people who also move into more legal work, like licensing deals and negotiations. And then for the sports side, many of those graduates go into becoming maybe like an athletic director or sports marketing managers. There's a lot of sponsorship opportunities. So people who work for major companies like a Coca-Cola, they'll move into those departments and work on the sports sponsorship deals. And then finally, I just want to give you examples of some of our graduates and what they do. So everybody on this screen has graduated from our program within the past 15 years. Sheena Fowler was a graduate, I think she's like about 15 years ago now. And she's now the CEO of Innovate Orlando. So she started out in the film at the Florida Film Commission, and she has moved her way into the tech world. And now she is bringing technology to Orlando. Kenny Carkeet is a guitarist. He actually, I don't know if any of you are fans of the band AWOL Nation. It was a very popular band in the 90s. He was the guitarist for that band. And he now owns and operates his recording company, which is Vibe Layer Recording. He shared with us that because he was a musician when he took our program, one of the most valuable classes was the negotiation and deal making class because it helped him as a musician when he was in the studio negotiate his split sheets so that he could understand, okay, well, the song that we're creating, what am I going to be compensated? How much of it do I own? How is that going to work? So that class helped quite a bit. Ty Stover is an example of a sports management graduate who is now the athlete marketing lead for EA Sports, which is a video game company. So, combining entertainment and sports into a role. And then last, but certainly not least, Phil Palin is somebody who's a brand strategist. He graduated and moved out to LA. He was actually working as a brand strategist first for personalities, entertainment personalities like Sharks on Shark Tank and some of the judges on Project Runway. And then after working with them, he created his own company that now he works with major brands and he travels the world helping people to build their businesses, assessing their brand, how to capture more clients. And he is now in partnership with Adobe Creative, and he helps them with how to use their content, and has some excellent AI videos, how to leverage artificial intelligence on YouTube. So I encourage you to check him out and follow him on social media. Okay, I know I just talked a lot. I'm going to go ahead and exit full screen so that I can see you. Give me 1 second, my mouse. There we go. Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
Hola,
Pueden hacer
Victoria,
las
muchas
preguntas en
gracias.
español.
Sí.
¿Hay alguien que
Ok,
tenga una
vamos a revisar.
pregunta? En español o en inglés no hay problema.
Yo tengo una pregunta.
Sí.
Ok, yo tengo una pregunta. Si, por ejemplo, for example, en inglés o en español, no importa, ¿verdad?
Me puedes hablar en español, pero I'm going to answer in English if that's okay. Okay?
Perfecto.
Okay.
Ok, lo voy a hacer de las dos maneras. Si, por ejemplo, un estudiante o una persona está interesada en tomar su programa, ¿qué nivel de inglés debe de tener con ustedes? I mean, if there is someone like interested to
Yeah.
participate in your master program, what level of English does this person need?
Great question. Thank you for asking that. So you do need to you need to be able to speak fluently because many of our assignments require presentations. So you would need to be able to complete a presentation and feel comfortable doing that. Online, many of the presentations are pre-recorded, so you have the ability to kind of record it at home and edit it and make it, look good. If you're a campus student, it would happen in class, so you would need a higher level of comfort and fluency if you're going to be on campus. Cynthia, I see your hand.
Ya. ¿Necesitas un nivel de inglés que sea fluido, como lo está diciendo Victoria? Nosotros tomamos IELTS 6.5, Duolingo 110 o TOEFL 79. Si en algún momento tienes algún otro tipo de examen de inglés, no hay problema, solamente déjame saber y podemos ver si está dentro de la lista de los exámenes que son aceptados.
Perfecto, muchas gracias por la respuesta. Tenemos también otra pregunta que Josué nos compartió aquí por medio del chat, que les compartieron y dice, ¿el programa de Master of Science in Entertainment Business se cursa 100% en línea desde México o requiere una estancia presencial en Estados Unidos? En caso de ser virtual, ¿cómo se manejan los horarios considerando la diferencia de uso horario?
Ok, voy a contestar la primera parte de la pregunta y luego le dejo a Victoria que conteste la segunda parte de la pregunta. Lo puedes hacer en
Perfecto.
las dos modalidades. Nosotros tenemos el programa online o en campus. Esto no es híbrido, es o lo haces completamente en línea o lo haces completamente en campus. Pero como el programa de nosotros, toda la maestría tiene una duración de 12 meses, ustedes con este partnership van a tener crédito de 3 clases. O sea que ustedes no van a completar 3 clases, va a ser menos de 12 meses el programa, pero lo pueden hacer en cualquiera de las dos modalidades, pero ahora le dejo a Victoria que explique un poquito más acerca de los horarios de las clases.
Gracias.
Perfecto,
So
gracias.
for the online students, we do, when you log into our learning management system, so we have a website where you're accessing your class materials and that's where you do your lectures. We have our instructors try to kind of vary what times they offer the Zoom lectures so that they can make them available during times when our students are free. But if, for example, it's maybe, you're in a time zone that's different and it just doesn't work, it's at 6 o'clock in the morning and you're not able to go, we record everything. So that way you can watch the recording afterwards. And then you can always request to have a one-on-one Zoom with your instructor at a time that works for you to ask questions and have a more personalized, personalized guidance on anything. And we post on the website, we make it very clear when items are due. So everything is usually due at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you are in a different time zone, the learning management system will recognize that and it will adjust the time, the deadlines to show you when you have to turn in your work.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias por responder. Thank you for answering the question. We have another question. Tenemos otra pregunta que va, ¿existe algún beneficio económico específico para estudiantes de UVEC? Por ejemplo, descuento o esquema preferencial de pago. Y adicionalmente, ¿hay opciones de financiamiento para estudiantes sin...
Ok, sí, hay un beneficio. De hecho, en estos momentos, si alguno de ustedes quisiera inscribirse para la maestría en línea, tenemos una beca muy, muy grande para escuelas partners que les puede dar hasta $25,000 en beca. ¿Ok? Estamos hablando de que la maestría les bajaría bastante. Ahora, nosotros tenemos ingresos cada mes. El único requisito para esta beca muy grande que se llama eGlobal es que tienen que comenzar las clases antes de junio 29. Y les voy a poner aquí en el chat cuáles son las siguientes, como las fechas de ingreso, pero en realidad es cada mes. Por ejemplo, nuestra siguiente fecha de ingreso es en abril 6 y luego tenemos una fecha de ingreso en mayo. En junio, de hecho, tenemos dos, una que es junio 1 y la otra que es junio 29, que esa es la fecha límite para tomar ventaja de esta beca que se llama eGlobal. Pero es una de las becas más grandes que yo he visto. Y recuerden que esto es para el programa en línea, si tomas el programa en línea a distancia.
Perfecto, gran apoyo, $25,000 es una enorme cantidad y bueno, qué gran apoyo, muchas gracias por aclarar. Tenemos otra pregunta por aquí que dice, My background is in international trade. How does this program address the global distributions or digital content?
So generally speaking, I will be very honest, the curriculum is based on the United States law, distribution, and our entertainment model here. However, when we have international students, what we encourage our students to do is to remind the teacher and say, hey, how does this work in Mexico? Or how does this work in South America? Or wherever globally. And when they know that they have a student who's interested in a more international scale of the subject that they're teaching, then they will address it. But I want to be very transparent that it's not in the main curriculum. We don't have not every single class has a section of and here's how it works globally. It's mainly in the United States. And then when you ask the teachers, they will adjust the curriculum and they give you more information about that.
Okay, thank you, Victoria, for answering. Let's go to the next question. Is also in English. For students who come from background like international business or foreign trade, what career paths in the entertainment industry could be a good fit after grad?
So we actually have, those are excellent backgrounds to have. I love when people come into the program that have more technical knowledge or just specified knowledge from a different area, and then they combine that with the entertainment space because it just makes you that much stronger and more valuable, right? So for people who are coming from the international business side, the entertainment industry industry is very global. And there are many roles in the industry for people who have an understanding of international business, trade, and finance in particular, that you could then get and work for these major companies like a Sony across overseas. We also have relationships. Our career development department has relationships with companies like that. For example, FIBA, there are many job opportunities where they're looking for people who don't just want to stay in the United States and want to travel or want to do things that are on a global scale. And even it's FIBA with the basketball. So there's FIBA, which is the football, soccer, and then they've started a basketball league as well. So the International Basketball League is also somebody that we have a connection with. But we have many, many global companies, and a lot of our students are international, and they find that what they learn in our program is extremely transferable to if they want to go home and back to their country and kind of open up a similar business. And they've created connections with US people, business owners, to then kind of create that bridge and allow for maybe if they have an artist in their country that they want to then connect with somebody in the United States. So that's another reason why networking is such an important part of our entire model, because we do have a lot of international people, and it allows you to then have more lines of communication and to have more opportunities across borders.
Thank you, Victoria, again. So let's go to the next question. Okay. So this time is in Spanish. ¿Para qué planes curriculares de licenciatura se tiene planeada esta maestría? Creo que es similar a la pregunta que había, a la respuesta de Victoria, pero si quieren responderle en español también.
¿Podrías repetir la pregunta, Vanessa?
Claro, claro. ¿Para qué planes curriculares de licenciatura se tiene planeada esta maestría?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. Can you help me?
I think they're trying to say that what kind of profiles, like your bachelor's, like if you have a certain bachelor, if you're okay to go into this master's degree. That's how I understood.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry about that. So we actually, the majority of people who take this program come from a technical background, a non-business background. It is okay if you already have a business background to take this program, but again, I want to, in the interest of full transparency, I would recommend that you take something that's different from what you did in bachelor's, because then there's going to be a lot of overlap and it won't push you as far. Of course, a master's program is going to do a deeper dive, and it will be it's just going to be a more rigorous program, and it's going to cover topics on a more complex scale than a bachelor's program would, because it's not introductory level anymore. It's more, assuming that you are at least intermediate or even advanced. However, the students who really love the program are the ones who have a technical background. For example, somebody who maybe was from a film program and only know, they understand how to use the equipment and they know how to work in the film industry, but they now want to open up their own production company. So they want to understand the business side so that they can kind of combine their two passions into a business for themselves. Or a musician. The examples of the student I gave you who was a guitarist for AWOL Nation, he was a recording arts graduate, actually. So his undergraduate was all learning about music, and then he was a musician. And he ended up taking the program because he then wanted to open up his own studio and understand how to run it and how to do it correctly and protect himself. So it can be from a variety of backgrounds, but the ones who love it the most are the ones that have more technical skills and are looking to round out their knowledge with the business acumen.
Okay, that is a great answer, because sometimes people think they have to have a specific career and then do the master's. So just to have technical skills will help to improve with this entertainment business master program. Thank you, Victoria. So we have another question in Spanish. It is quite large, but I will help to translate if needed. ¿El programa de doble titulación es únicamente con la maestría de administración?
Sí, Hasta ahorita en estos momentos, el agreement o el convenio que nosotros tenemos es con la maestría de ustedes en Strategic Management, que es el que mencionaste. Pero eso no significa que estudiantes de otras maestrías no podrían ser buenos candidatos para la maestría de Entertainment Business. Es simplemente que con este convenio, los estudiantes que vienen de esta maestría de Strategic Management de parte de UBEC, se saltan un proceso. Es una de las, es una maestría, es una entrada directa, si lo quieres ver de esa manera. Pero si hay estudiantes con otras maestrías, no quiere decir que no son buenos candidatos, es simplemente que tienen que hacer un pasito más, un proceso más. Es la única diferencia.
Perfecto, muchas gracias, Cintia, por aclararnos. Bueno, Josué, al igual que tú, nos comentaron las fechas de ingreso, que es en abril 6, mayo 4, junio 1, junio 29, agosto 3, agosto 31, septiembre 28, octubre 26 y noviembre 23. Así que aplíquense, por favor. Hay muchas oportunidades de fechas de ingreso, así que, ¿por qué no? Tenemos otra pregunta por aquí. ¿Cuáles serán los precios por mes del programa?
Ok, eso tiene mucho que ver la fecha de ingreso y también el programa si lo vas a hacer en línea, o sea, a distancia, o si lo vas a hacer presencial porque tiene diferentes costos. Ahorita, por ejemplo, yo la verdad les recomendaría muchísimo, sobre todo ustedes que son estudiantes que están a distancia, me imagino que tendrían una preferencia por la maestría a distancia. Por eso es que les recomendaría mucho que tomaran ventaja de la beca que les mencioné un poco antes, que es la de iGlobal, porque es una beca muy, muy grande, pero tendrían que ingresar antes de junio 29. El proceso es muy personalizado porque también nuestros costos cambian. Entonces, podría darte más o menos aproximados, pero no quiero de verdad darles un monto porque en el momento en que ustedes pueden comenzar, el costo puede ser diferente. Por ejemplo, como les digo, el costo del ingreso de junio 29 va a ser muy diferente que si ingresan, por ejemplo, en septiembre o en octubre, porque ya no va a existir la beca y Global. Entonces es como, no les quisiera dar una cantidad exacta, pero sí me gustaría tener una sesión informativa más individual con cada estudiante interesada o interesado para poderles dar unos números más concretos. Porque cambia, como ven, todavía tenemos como 7, 8 fechas de ingreso, entonces los costos pueden cambiar y también tenemos que determinar si está el estudiante interesado en un programa en línea o en campus, porque también si vienen acá a hacerlo presencial, también tenemos que tener en cuenta los gastos de vida, lo que es la renta, transporte, alimentación, entonces eso también cambia un poco, que si lo hacen a distancia.
Perfecto, Cintia, muchas gracias por explicarnos cómo es el método de los costos. Así que, por favor, investiguen qué fechas les gustaría ingresar y depende y aparte, pues está la beca muy emocionante, los $25,000. Creo que esa ya está por ahí, ¿no? O sea, ya muy pronto. Entonces, tenemos otra pregunta del joven Víctor Márquez. Hello, good morning. Thanks for your presentation. It is exciting and very interesting. Two questions. I'm interested about the MBA. What is the process started? And after the scholarship, what would be the cost of the MBA? I mean, quite same the question about the price, but yes, adelante.
Ok, te puedo, te voy a dar generalizado para que se den una idea, ¿ok? En estos momentos, si haces, y como les digo, cada vez, cada ingreso, los costos pueden ser diferentes, pero vamos a decir, si por ejemplo comenzara alguien, el estudiante, el próximo mes, nuestro próximo ingreso que es en abril, ¿ok? En estos costos, en estos momentos, si hacen la maestría en línea, la maestría total tiene un costo de $35,000, ¿ok? Pero recuérdense de la beca que les dije que les puede dar hasta $25,000. Si aplicas para la beca de eGlobal y te ganas el monto máximo, que es de hasta $25,000, la maestría te quedaría en $10,000. O sea que sí es un buen ahorro. Ahora, vamos a decir que, y te estoy dando costos aproximados, porque obviamente ahí también tiene que entrar los créditos que ustedes van a obtener, porque se les van a homologar 3 clases, ¿ok? Entonces, eso es como un aproximado. Si quisieras hacer la maestría después de la fecha del junio 29 en línea, El costo es el mismo de la maestría, que es $35,000, pero ahí solamente podrías obtener hasta $10,000 en beca. Eso sería lo máximo que pudieras obtener. Puede ser un poquito menos. Entonces ahí ya estamos hablando de que te quedaría la maestría en alrededor de unos $25,000 aproximadamente. Esto, os les digo otra vez, estos son montos solamente aproximados, porque hay muchas otras variables, pero solamente para que se den una idea. Entonces ustedes pueden ver la gran diferencia de la beca iGlobal y cuando no tienes la beca iGlobal. Siempre tenemos becas para estudiantes internacionales, pero de verdad que ahorita con esta beca de iGlobal es una ventaja muy, muy grande porque ya viste la diferencia de precios en cómo te quedaría el costo final.
Claro, aparte tiene que ver mucho en qué modalidad van a estudiar, si va a ser online o presencial, pues ahí ya varían también los costos. Perfecto, muchas gracias. Preguntan más personas, ¿compartirán la grabación? Josué ya respondió, la grabación está en nuestras redes sociales de LOBEC, en Facebook y en YouTube, así que esta grabación va a estar grabada, va a estar guardada para que se puedan meter también. Y pues bueno, preguntas ya serían todas. Ya resolvimos costos, resolvimos también horarios, las modalidades, las fechas de ingreso, de qué carreras provenientes, bueno, de parte del UEC, cómo también se pueden homologar. Este, pues bueno, ciertas preguntas ya las resolvimos. ¿Quisieran también comentar algún tema más o cualquier?
No, solamente que digo, no sé, Josué, pero si hay algún estudiante interesado, de verdad, les ofrezco yo mi ayuda. Podemos tener una sesión personalizada para poder hablar un poquito acerca más de los intereses. De hecho, el proceso de admisión, el primer paso es tener una entrevista con representante de admisiones acá en la universidad. Este puede ser por Zoom, por WhatsApp, por teléfono, puede ser en español también si se sienten más cómodos porque tenemos staff que habla español. Y como les digo, es un proceso muy personalizado. En esa entrevista obviamente vamos a determinar que el programa que el estudiante está pensando ingresar es el más adecuado para que no vaya a haber ninguna equivocación. Vamos a necesitar obviamente el nivel de inglés, que ya lo mencionamos, que es un TOEFL 79, IELTS 6.5, Duolingo 110. Si hay algún otro examen no hay problema, podemos ver. Vamos a necesitar obviamente una identificación oficial. Esos son los requisitos para el programa en línea. Los requisitos para el programa presencial requieren también de una garantía financiera y esto lo necesitamos para hacer todo el proceso de visa. Pero todo ese proceso de visa nosotros les ayudamos a los estudiantes. O sea, como les digo, los vamos llevando paso por paso. Se te asigna un representante de admisiones desde el momento en que el estudiante tiene interés en la universidad y esta persona los va llevando por paso por todo el proceso de admisión, así que es de verdad que es muy, muy personalizado, pero les puedo poner mi correo en el chat. Cualquier pregunta pueden de verdad, sin contar confianza, escribirme o bueno, no sé si cuál sería el canal de comunicación dentro de UBEC, pero yo siempre estoy disponible para cualquier pregunta que tengan.
Muchas gracias, Cintia, gracias, Victoria. Muchísimas gracias, Vane. Bueno, si no tenemos alguna otra pregunta el día de hoy, estaremos por finalizando. Gracias, Cintia, ya por acá nos comparte su correo. De igual forma, a cada una de las personas que nos están siguiendo a través de las redes sociales y a través de nuestro campus virtual, si tienen alguna duda en particular, pueden contactarnos a través, valga la redundancia, de nuestras redes sociales, de nuestro canal de mesa de ayuda o también a través de nuestro correo internacional@ubec.edu.mx y vamos a estar dando respuesta a cada una de sus preguntas e inquietudes. Si no hubiese, alguna otra duda o inquietud, estaremos dando por finalizada esta sesión informativa, pero antes de cerrar esta transmisión, podemos tomar una captura de pantalla como evidencia, una fotografía digital a través de este Zoom. Las personas que nos acompañan en este momento, si pueden encender su cámara brevemente y solamente sería una pequeña fotografía digital. Por acá ya tenemos a Rodolfo, gracias Rodolfo, Dulce, Edgar, Salvador, vemos a Nayeli, vemos a Rosalía también, Diego por acá, bienvenido. Eh, Por acá tenemos a Omar, a Adrián, a Renan, a Felipe. Si pueden encender su cámara. Mireya también te vemos por acá. Y bueno, muchísimas gracias. Vanessa ya acaba de compartir nuestro correo a través del chat del submeeting. Y bueno, entendemos que a algunas personas les puede dar algo de pena o también su internet no puede estar funcionando correctamente en estos momentos para proyectar el video. Vamos a tomar una captura de pantalla. Vanessa, si me puedes apoyar a la cuenta de tres. Una, dos.
Sí, un segundito. Un
Gracias, Vanessa.
segundito para poner la galería. Ok.
¿Listo? A la cuenta de
Una,
tres.
dos, tres. Perfecto. Salió muy bien.
Muchísimas gracias, Vane. Gracias, Cintia. Gracias, Victoria. En nombre de la Universidad Virtual del Estado de Guanajuato, en representación de nuestro rector, el maestro Ricardo Narváez Martínez, les damos pues el agradecimiento de manera virtual. También nuestra directora de vinculación e internacionalización, la maestra Itzelviana Casillas Casillas, se tuvo que retirar por otro compromiso, pero les manda muchos saludos y agradecimientos, Cintia, Victoria, por esta sesión informativa. Gracias, Vane, también por acompañarnos el día de hoy, que es parte del equipo internacional. También a nuestro equipo de tecnologías y también de marketing digital que nos apoyan con las transmisiones y con el Zoom y todo el equipo que está detrás del trabajo de esta universidad. A ustedes por estar en esta sesión el día de hoy y a las personas que nos siguen a través de las redes sociales. Sin más, Cintia, Victoria, Vanessa, ¿algo más que quieran agregar para esta última parte de la sesión?
Muchas gracias por el espacio. Y como les lo mencioné antes, es un placer siempre colaborar con ustedes. Y pues bueno, esperando que ojalá de aquí salgan muchas oportunidades para diferentes estudiantes de UBEC.
Muchas gracias, and thank you for coming. If you have any questions, also, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. You can speak with Cynthia about how to reach me, but I'm happy to talk to anybody further if you have more questions, and I hope to see you in the program soon.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Cintia. Vanessa.
Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Es emocionante ver cómo dos universidades se pueden fusionar para crear oportunidades, así que aprovechen, ya vieron todas las fechas de ingreso que hay, ya vieron todas las oportunidades que ofrece Full Sail y bueno, aprovechen estas oportunidades, estos convenios que hay entre UVEC y Full Sail y pues bueno, agradecerles por su tiempo. Espero que, como dijo Cintia, alcance a muchos chicos y chicas porque estas oportunidades son únicas y qué más que irse a estudiar a Estados Unidos y tener un título allá, creo que es una oportunidad inmensa y pues bueno, agradecerles por este espacio.
Gracias, Vanessa. Gracias, Victoria. Gracias, Cintia. Daniel, si estás por aquí, nos indicas para terminar la transmisión en redes sociales. Y también Eva, muchísimas gracias. Nos indicas también para la grabación de Zoom.